triggering a massive tsunami. One of the world's most advanced nations teeters on the brink of collapse. This is a minute-by-minute account of events with eyewitness videos and exclusive survivor interviews.
I didn't actually realize that I was going to be documenting the final moments of the entire town.
World-leading scientists analyze the megaphysics.
This earthquake is one of the top 5 on Earth.
This was a planetary monster.
We reveal the actual sound of the quake and explore the future threat. Which earthquake zone is next? One of our planet's most volatile regions is the Pacific Ring of Fire, a continuous fracture in the Earth's crust which circles the Pacific Ocean. At 2:45 p.m. on March the 11th, 80 miles off Japan, one section of this fault is about to rupture. Downtown Tokyo, the largest city in the world. 35 million people are going about their daily lives. 200 miles north in Sendai, American teacher Paula Lutzi has just finished lunch.
Me and my colleagues, we were sitting in our office because I think it was like right close to 3. We start to go prepare our classrooms for the kids.
At nearby Osato High School, former teacher Wesley Julian is filming a graduation ceremony.
It was just full of emotion and so exciting to reunite with the students and the teachers. Beautiful ceremony. It ended, we went to lunch in the staff room.
A few miles south of Sendai, Katsuyoshi Hayasaka gets ready to go shopping.
It doesn't happen every day, but my grandchild phoned me in the morning, asking, "Granddad, could you give me a lift to go shopping?"
電話があって、そして一緒にいいよということで出かけました。
There is no sense of what's about to happen. But 80 miles out in the Pacific Ocean, and 20 miles down inside the Earth's crust, the Pacific Plate is being forced down underneath Japan. Solid rock twists and cracks. Stresses build up in the system until something snaps. In Tokyo, seismic data streams into the country's earthquake monitoring HQ.
The magnitude which was shown on the monitor was pretty big, so I thought it might be wrong. The readings must be calibrated incorrectly.
Other scientists record underwater sound of the tectonic plates grinding against each other. Speeded up 32 times, here for the first time ever, is the actual sound of the earthquake. People in Sendai are among the first to feel the tremors.
It just kept getting stronger and stronger. So like all of us just kind of stood up, looked at each other, and ran out.
About 30 seconds into the earthquake, I got out my camera and just turned it to the video mode and pressed record because I knew it was going to be the big one. Holy crap. Holy. And there's nothing I can do. I can't run anywhere. Are we okay? Yeah. We'll just follow the building. My thought was, is this building going to collapse?
Another remarkable video from a Sendai suburb captures the panic as a house shakes around a mother and her son. After 50 seconds, the ground offers the only source of refuge. The earthquake continues for 5 minutes.
We had one big one, and then it kind of stopped, but then another one happened. It just kept going, and then it would kind of die down, and then another one would come.
At Sendai Airport, air traffic controller Yoshi Kabune faces a critical emergency.
その天井とかの
Fluorescent lamps in the ceiling were falling down.
まあ使えないということで、状
There
況
were aircraft flying in the vicinity at the time, so we worked hard to make them circle above, because the airport could not be used.
で仕事を必死でやってますね。
It just felt like it would never end. And I'm watching like the telephone poles just shake.
The scariest part about being in an earthquake is being completely helpless. The earth is deciding it's going to move, and you just have to move with it.
Even in Tokyo, 230 miles from the epicenter, the shocks are strong enough to catch seismologist Satoko Oki by complete surprise.
My office is in a base isolation building, so it should not move. But still, I couldn't even stand up. That was the biggest and longest earthquake I've ever experienced.
Across town, businessman Ayumu Dokizono witnesses an extraordinary spectacle.
When I was just looking at the building, I was so surprised that the building was swaying. I was so surprised that I felt, oh, I have to film it.
Only 7 people die in Tokyo, but strange things start to happen. Cracks in the ground open and close, and in a process called liquefaction, the seismic shocks squeeze water out of the earth. The quake measures 9 on the Richter scale, with a force equal to 600 million times the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. That's enough energy to power the entire US for 100 years. All exploding outwards from one point in 5 minutes.
This earthquake is one of the top 5 largest earthquake ever. I mean, on Earth.
It is so big that it tilts the world 25 centimeters on its axis. and slows the Earth's rotation to shorten our days by a fraction of a second. In Japan, the earthquake even rattles the most safely guarded installations. Just 90 miles from the fault line stands Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant. With electricity cables damaged, emergency systems kick into action, engaging backup diesel generators for power, and beginning the shutdown sequence for the plant's 3 active nuclear reactors. But 80 miles out to sea, the earthquake has unleashed an even more terrifying force. And it's rippling outwards at 500 miles per hour. Japan is reeling from the largest earthquake to strike it for 1,000 years. It's only the 5th magnitude 9 tremor in recorded history. But one thing scares the Japanese even more. A tsunami tidal wave. And this is exactly what the quake triggered. When the Earth ruptured, 250 miles of ocean floor thrust upwards over 3 meters. This displaced 100 billion cubic meters of water in the ocean above, causing a surge that initially travels at 500 miles per hour.
At the very beginning, it propagates almost the same speed as airplane.
At Sendai Tsunami Warning Center, the alarm sounds. The race is on to find out the size of the oncoming wave.
Due to the tsunami and the earthquake itself, most of the monitoring stations were damaged. It was something that was unreal.
As monitoring systems in Japan are overwhelmed, scientists worldwide track the advancing wave.
I received a call at 1:20 in the morning from a colleague in California. He said, "Turn on the television. All hell is breaking loose in Japan." The earthquake had occurred about 35 minutes earlier. I was able to see some of the media coverage of the tsunamis coming in. This was a planetary monster.
3 miles out to sea, the Coast Guard filmed the first breathtaking sight of the tsunami. On land, everyone is still recovering from the earthquake. They have less than 30 minutes before the big waves start to hit. And there's another danger. Parts of the Japanese coast have sunk 1 meter lower, meaning that the impact of the tsunami will be even greater. In the coastal port of Otsuchi, American eyewitness Brian Barnes is working on a conservation project.
When I went to Japan, I didn't even think about possible earthquake.
Tsunami, yeah, we're leaving. Yeah, we're leaving.
I didn't know that the tsunami would happen, but I assumed that it was probably about at least a 90% chance.
Where do we go?
Go to the hill.
Where do we go? Just go, huh?
Yeah, the hill.
All the employees are leaving.
Brian races for higher ground, his camera still rolling.
Are we hearing sirens? Yeah.
Yeah.
This town has a lot of history with tsunamis.
When the tsunami approaches land, it slows dramatically. But as the sea becomes shallower, the waves rise higher and higher, reaching up to 14 meters tall. In the radar room at Sendai Airport, air traffic controllers are desperately diverting aircraft away from the quake-hit runway.
自分の命とかはあんまり
None of us really had time to think about our own lives. It was just working very hard to manage the aircraft.
でした。
Outside, airport personnel frantically evacuate passengers from ground level. In nearby towns, tens of thousands of people are running for their lives. Among them, Katsuyoshi Hayasaka. The only nearby structure capable of withstanding the wave is the concrete school building a few blocks away.
We were instructed to go to the third or fourth floor as we didn't know how high the tsunami would reach.
ということで、交通整理隊、それからおまわりさん。
Fire crews, traffic officers, and police were walking around the neighborhood shouting, "Evacuate immediately!"
回って、避難してください、すぐ避難してください。
The Japanese coastline is just seconds from impact. At 3:15 p.m. on March the 11th, 2011, the tsunami approaches the east coast of Japan.
If it was close, it'll be here in a moment. They're taking it pretty seriously, obviously.
American eyewitness Brian Barnes has seconds to escape, but he's lost.
Come on, somebody help me here.
Where are you headed?
To that hill. We gotta get across the bridge, I guess. What if the bridge fell down?
Turn left, hopefully not.
We're driving through town. The tsunami's warning blaring. I just felt like it was time to document what was happening. I didn't actually realize that I was going to be documenting the final moments of an entire town.
As the clock ticks towards 3:20, the biggest waves start pounding the coast. Hundreds capture the moment on camcorders and camera phones. In the port of Shiogama, the sea erupts. For this car and the occupants, there's no escape. "80 miles up the coast in Kamaishi, millions of cubic meters of water are forced through streets just 10 meters wide. The narrow channels accelerating the speed of the flow.
I kept hearing tsunami, and it was 10 meters, and here are the towns that it's going to hit. But I had no idea the power and force that the tsunami would bring.
We all had a feeling a tsunami was going to come. Just because when you have that big of an earthquake, there's just always a fear. We have quite a bit of kids who live in those coastal cities. We were just sending out prayers to them, just making sure that hopefully they were not there when it hit.
Paula and Wesley are safe on higher ground, but tens of thousands aren't. Hisanuma. One eyewitness video shows town become sea inside 4 minutes. 15 seconds. Road becomes river. 1 minute 20 seconds. A warehouse weighing thousands of tons is picked up like a rag doll. Two minutes. He spots a person in the water. It's a flood of truly biblical proportions. Just 3 minutes, 15 seconds after it started, the torrent has reached the 3rd floor, over 8 meters high. Up the coast, Brian Barnes is trapped on a hilltop.
It was just all hell breaks loose, and the water really comes in, pushing forward. The tree that was right below me, and the tree's cracking away from the hill. Here it comes! Just completely developed this 40-foot tree in a matter of seconds. And I thought at the moment was, when will I stop? Is it going to come all the way up to swallow this entire hill? And I mean, at that point, you just start thinking, I mean, those are your final seconds in life.
By 3:55 p.m., the tsunami reaches Arahama. Katsuyoshi Hayasaka gets to the roof of this school building just in time.
As soon as someone shouted, "It's the tsunami," a huge tidal wave came towards us, thundering noise, and clouds of dust. As walls tumbled down, there was a crushing noise, and the air was full of debris.
At 3:57, the water pours into Sendai Airport, 1 mile inland. Air traffic controller Yoshi Kabune is still trying to divert planes when he is forced to escape to a higher floor.
I watched as my own car, which was parked in the car park in front, got swept away. There were still people walking on the ground who were unaware of the tsunami. I heard people yelling at them to get away, and I saw some people in confusion as they tried to escape.
The tsunami wave doesn't stop until it reaches 6 miles inland. Japan has suffered 2 deadly blows. First, earthquake, and then tsunami. But a 3rd disaster is about to strike as the nation faces potential nuclear meltdown. At 3:42 p.m., just 56 minutes after Japan is rocked by one of the top 5 earthquakes in recorded history, the tsunami wave approaches Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant. Inside are 3 active nuclear reactors. diesel generators are pumping water around the reactors to cool the nuclear fuel rods. But to remain operational, these generators must stay dry. In Tokyo, one man is watching the unfolding disaster with increasing alarm. Nuclear engineer Mitsuhiko Tanaka helped design the Fukushima plant.
テレビをつけましたら、
As soon as I put on the television, I learned that it was offshore of Fukushima. That was the epicenter. And then the tsunami warning followed. I felt that this was going to be terrible.
The plant is protected by sea walls 5.7 meters high. But they are no match for the 14-meter wave. Filmed just after the waves hit, this remarkable video shows the damage. Swamped by the wave, the diesel generators are destroyed.
There is something very important that has to happen after an automatic shutdown, and that is to immediately cool the reactor.
Now, there is just one backup cooling system left. Battery-operated pumps. But they only have an 8-hour charge, and the clock is ticking. While Fukushima edges towards nuclear meltdown, across Japan's east coast, people are fighting for their lives. At its highest measured point, the tsunami reached 38 meters above sea level.
It broke my heart to see some of the areas that I've walked. How many of those cities are gone? How many of the places have I been to that aren't there anymore? How many of my friends are missing their homes or not even alive anymore?
For many, helicopters offer the only escape route from their island prisons.
ヘリコプターの音がしたんですね。ヘリですからライトつけながら
We heard the noise of a helicopter in the sky. It had a searchlight and hovered around the room. Then a rescue worker came off the helicopter and told us, "We're going to rescue you one by one."
するんですけども、
Brian Barnes returns to Otsuchi to discover a scene of utter devastation.
It was like nothing that you can even imagine. You know, at least Hollywood couldn't even create something like this. I don't think. I think there was about 18,000 people that lived there, and at this point, there's not enough people living to take care of their dead. They've lost more than half the town. So it's pretty much hell on earth.
But Japan's nightmare is about to get even worse. At Fukushima nuclear plant, the battery-operated cooling pumps run out of power. And then, seismic event turns into nuclear catastrophe. An explosion blows the roof off reactor building 1. 2 days later, another explosion hits reactor building 3. With all automatic systems disabled, the authorities have to make a terrifying decision. They must send men into a radioactive zone to manually cool the reactors. One of the chosen few is Tokyo fireman Yukio Takayama.
福島原発に入ったのは多分18 when we go through the main gate at the Fukushima nuclear power plant. I think it was after 2300 hours on the 18th at night. My very first impression was that it was like a strangely silent haunted house. 感じした。
This footage shows Yukio and the team as they move in towards the reactors in total darkness.
You couldn't smell anything or see anything dangerous. There was nothing that you could see. All we had in front of us was the collapsed nuclear power station, reactor number 3, right in front of us, which was billowing smoke. You felt this strange kind of fear.
Inside the plant, Yukio and 300 others work in shifts of 50, pouring seawater on the reactors.
Wala pa. Siguro baka kumain na yun doon.
Across Japan, tens of thousands of survivors live in makeshift shelters.
Iwas ka.
今まで70年のね、人生を
Kainin mo yung dalawa. Kaya
For 70 years, I have experienced many things in my life. I think I'm back to
Gusto mo.
We need to start from scratch.
For the first time since the disaster, Katsuyoshi Hayasaka returns to his hometown to search for his house.
最後この川に一回出てみるから今わけわからない
The only landmark that remains is the building that saved his life.
ここから割り出してこれ俺んちだ。これ俺の家だ。Good. Okay, yeah. My home. Bro. My home. Right. これから先どうしていくか。
The most important thing is, what do we do now? I'm not talking about a couple of individuals here. I mean, we have to consider what all of us are going to do. Like a place to shelter,